And so what did that lead to more than ever? Have you ever heard of that study with the rats where they were put in a cage? They were given two options. One of the waters had heroin, cocaine, other recreational drugs. The other, water, nutrients it needs to live. The rat's sitting in a cage and it continues to drink the drug-laced water and dies from starvation. Why would I want to drink that healthy water when I can drink the drug water? Gonna get me high, gonna make me feel amazing. Well, you assume it's because the drugs are addictive. They get their hooks into you and you can't stop because, well, it's a drug, you're addicted. But lo and behold, they did a future study. A rat study where they made basically a rat paradise. They put the rats in there. They had a bunch of other rats in there. Things to do, things to play with, like heaven on earth for rats. And guess what? Hardly any of the rats are bothered to drink the drug-laced water. And those that did, they didn't develop addictions. At least for the most part, they didn't. Because they had other better things to do. They could hang around with their other rat friends, have sexy time with other rats, play around, had a good time. And so why would they bother getting addicted to those drugs when they had a great life after all? And so how does that translate to the real world? Well, people who are addicted to drugs, perhaps alcohol, cigarettes, porn, shopping, food, perhaps they aren't living in a society that rewards them often enough. Think of it. We went through that special time where we all had to stay inside. We can't talk about it, we can't name it, but we had very few friends. We had a certain bubble of people we could speak to. We weren't allowed to travel and people were wearing covers over their faces. You couldn't see if someone was smiling, having a good time. And so what did that lead to more than ever? Swipe left, swipe right, up and down, wasting your time mindlessly scrolling through social media. And so more than ever, people sat on the couch on their computer chair watching TV, computer programs, and so on. No longer did people seek out joy from interacting with other human beings. And so if you really consider it, the opposite of an addiction would be a connection to other people in society. And so for all the people out there battling obesity, it's greater than ever. Remember, we know more about obesity than we ever had in the history of the world. There are more gyms, exercise programs, information, weight loss pills, foods that are low in calories, even my friggin' cookbook. More of those than ever before, yet obesity is at an all-time high. A brand new weight loss drug that you don't have to inject, is available orally, has recently been shown to be the most effective weight loss drug ever, of all time. This drug, known as retatrutide, was given to patients for 48 weeks. And on average, that's right, the average, they lost 24% of their body weight. That is the greatest rate of weight loss that's ever been shown by any drug ever, of all time. And remember, that's the average, and people on higher doses, well, they tended to lose even more than that. Some over 30% of their body weight. And what's also of note was that this experimental drug also reduced many of the patients' addictions. For example, alcohol, nicotine, drugs, even shopping, perhaps porn. And so could it be that this drug is simply making people reduce their cravings for dopamine, for pleasure, for anything fun in this world? Many people who are overweight because they are addicted to the dopamine release upon eating food. Just think of it. When you eat that candy bar, that apple pie, that cake, that ice cream, does it not make you feel good? Many people are emotional eaters. They're perhaps eating when they're sad so they can feel pressure to get happy. And so is this in fact a positive or good side effect? Many of people are thinking, yeah, of course it is. My girlfriend's out shopping all the time, blasting money, have no money on my credit card. And so if I can get rid of her shopping addiction, I'm gonna have more money. So yeah, I'm all for it. And so if you're addicted to food, how could it be bad that you're no longer addicted? And are you kidding me? You don't want to smoke anymore? You don't need alcohol? How could this be bad? Well, I'll tell you how. And so think of it. It curbs drug addiction. Imagine you're addicted to cigarettes, nicotine, alcohol, sex, porn, whatever, you name it. And you can take a pill and it's gone. How could that possibly be bad?
All of these vapes and cigarettes that you've had over the years, they don't look attractive anymore. Very strange, very strange. The weight that it takes off your mind is far greater than any pounds that can come off your body.
Just think of what she just said. She said the weight that comes off of your mind is greater than any of the weight that comes off of your body. And so upon taking this experimental drug, her thoughts, her cravings, her outlook, the reason for taking these drugs such as nicotine, it just kind of withered away. It didn't seem important. But is that necessarily good? Let's examine why that could be.
This is a huge unmet need. Alcohol use disorder affects about 30 million people in the US, and less than 5% of people get treatment right now.
And so she's stating this could be potentially an untapped market. Think of the amount of people in the world who have drug addictions, who are addicted to alcohol. If only they could have a drug to get rid of that. How would that not be a good thing? But yet the pharmaceutical companies, they're not exploring this avenue. They don't want to get into that. And so if this was actually a viable alternative, something that you could give to somebody who's, for example, an alcoholic, why would they not want to develop this into a drug to give to people as a cure for addiction? Well, I'll tell you why.
We've seen these be tremendously successful for weight loss because of effects in the gut, but perhaps also because of what's happening in the brain.
Consider this. It's affecting the reward center in the brain. You don't want to seek out pleasure. And so does it really make sense to take a drug that stops you from wanting to seek out things that you enjoy? When you're addicted to something, it's because you really like it. But why are you in fact addicted? It's because you're not getting your needs met elsewhere. Nowadays, people get their dopamine rush through swiping through their phone, by sitting in front of a computer screen, by texting other people, which we don't even know are people, perhaps are bots, by scrolling through comments with people you've never even met. And half the time it's negative, people complaining, going on about how bad their lives are. And so rather than seeking out meaningful relationships with friends, family, and so on, people are now secluded at home with less friends than ever before. And so is it really a surprise to find out that many people are suffering and battling with addictions when they're depressed, feeling sad, and resorting to binge eating, being unable to put the fork down, that they're addicted to porn, nicotine, shopping? The list goes on and on. And why? Because we are like rats in a cage. Years ago, we used to hang out with our friends. We would call people, talk to them. Hey, you want to come over? Let's go to the park. Let's go for a walk. Let's do something physical. But during that time, they took that special thing away from us. And many of us, we haven't got back to doing this. We continue to sit at home and forgive ourselves. Body positivity. Love your body. It's okay that you don't work out, that you can't put the fork down, that you eat shit all day long, that you're 100 pounds overweight, because we all need to be given a ribbon. We all need to be loved. We don't need to do anything about it. No longer are people proactive with their health. Oh, you're trying to lose weight? That's fat phobic. And so sure, some of you are going to benefit from these new experimental drugs, possibly Ozempic, semaglutides, and so on, or maybe even retatrutide. But do you really want the Band-Aid fix to the problem? Or do you want to cure the actual problem? And so imagine resorting to and taking a drug that reduces your body's own drive to have pleasure in this world. Oh, cigarettes you like? No, I don't like that. Alcohol? Why bother? Porn? Nah, not for me. Relationships? Why would I bother? I'm happy alone. But are you really happy? Or are you neutral? You're not happy, you're not sad, you're not angry, you're not happy. You just exist. Reminds me of the 2008 movie WALL-E. At the end of the movie, everyone's overweight, being shuttled around, living and sitting on a screen. You get all your dopamine without doing anything, without putting any effort into it. And so one of the biggest problems here in this earth in 2023 is that people, they seek rewards and pleasure without effort. You're more quickly to swipe left or right, up and down, to scroll aimlessly on the internet, to watch porn, to drink alcohol, to do recreational drugs, to vape on a cigarette. And why do you do that? For the dopamine, makes you feel good. In comparison, what could you do? You could go for a walk. You could go for a hike, a run, a bike ride. You could race on Zwift, go to the gym, lift weights, and get a pump. Seek out other relationships, friends, meet together, go to the park. But why would you do that? That takes effort. You have to get up off the couch and move. And so it's much easier when you're bored, lonely, to take your phone, swipe left and right, up and down. But what should you do? You should lace up your shoes and get outside into the sun, have some fun. Move, experiment, explore the world. But no, people don't want to do that. And so what has been the result? We become morbidly obese. More people are overweight than people are healthy. Imagine, how is that possible? We no longer do what we were put on this earth to do. And so rather than eating healthy, eating fruits and vegetables, foods that are out in nature, we eat highly palatable, refined foods that are very high in calories. We don't go work for it, we Uber it over. It's 10 o'clock, pizza, press a button, and it comes over. In comparison, why don't you eat healthy? to exercise, to perhaps eat from my friggin' cookbook. And so for me, the solution is not a drug that prevents you from experiencing pleasure to the degree that you should. It's to get out there and move. And what better supplement than GO2 Max, with the main ingredient being NMN, to help you do that. And remember, this has been shown in double-blind, placebo-controlled human studies to improve your cardio dramatically. 50% improvement in the walking test score. And so imagine you're sitting on your ass doing nothing, and if you're given NMN, which is in fact in GO2 Max, the main ingredient, of course, these individuals walked 50% further in the walking test score than their counterparts who never took it. And so remember, it's not the placebo effect. It's not just in couch potatoes. Elite level athletes who take GO2 Max, they have improved cardio, more energy. And so if you have more energy and you explore the world, you're going to burn off more calories, you're going to lose weight, and so you're that much more likely to do what you were put on this earth to do. To exercise and to have fun. And so sure, you can take Ozempic and various semaglutides, perhaps spending over $1,000 a month. And some of the negative side effects, gastrointestinal upset, nausea, feeling sick, and a host of other negative side effects. Or in comparison, spend 10 times less and use GO2 Max with no known negative side effects. And what does the FDA do as thanks for this? Well, they ban NMN, even though it's not a drug. It's banned for sale on Amazon. So you can't get it on Amazon. You can get most of my supplements on Amazon, but not GO2 Max. And so to get GO2 Max, click the link in the description, code Greg, 10% off. And so although you can get my cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, and the Circle Diet book and Harder Than Last Time clothing line, all that's at my website. You can also at my website get a free, that's right, a free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages in length. And so what is your excuse? You can get it for free. Exactly what to do to get into the shape of your life. And so stop sitting like a rat in a cage and get out and explore the world. Choose to be happy. If you're sitting there and doing nothing, what can you expect? There'd be no difference between you and that rat in a cage trying to decide which of the waters to drink. And so rather than trying to come up with all these drugs to fix all of our problems, why don't we go to the root of our problems? We need to get out and move. 150 minutes of moderately intense cardio a week. That is the minimum. That's not the most, that's the minimum amount you should be doing. All of you boys, girls, old, young, you name it, you need to get out and move. And you should be lifting weights your entire body 2 times per week. That is so that you have lean muscle tissue. It helps with your metabolism, going to help you to burn more calories, have more energy, ward off age-related illnesses. And with the aid of GO2 Max, you can perform cardio at a faster pace. It makes it easier to progressive overload to become a better butter burner. And so GO2 Max, the #1 supplement I'd recommend. But remember, you don't need any supplement whatsoever to get out there and move. This just makes it easier. And so please get out and exercise. Do not forgive yourself for sitting on your ass and doing nothing. And so this is not the time to forgive yourself. Sitting there doing nothing and being body positive is not going to do anything but lead to an earlier demise. If you want to increase quantity and quality of your life, it's not just how long you live, it's what kind of life are you going to live. You need, not should, need to do exercise. You need, not should, to eat healthy. And you need, not should, try and develop quality relationships with other people. Try to make friends. Get out and explore the world. Stop spending your entire life behind a computer screen and get out there and explore the world. And so let me know in the comment section, did this help you? Do you now understand addiction a little bit more? Can you see why exercise is of paramount importance? Why you need to be healthy and develop quality relationships with other people? Interested in any of my supplements, head over to my website, click the link in the description, code Greg 10% off. Subscribe, click the bell button. Please subscribe, like this video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of the bloops. And as always, until next time, I am out.